Hey guys, welcome to Game Day Private Jets. Today we're going to take a tour through one of our new lifestyle platform partners and luxury car club, Freedom Supercars. Let's go check this place out.
Hey guys, I'm Chris Smith, partner of Freedom Supercars. Welcome to the club.
Well, Chris, man, thank you for letting us kind of walk through here today.
Yeah,
Give us a little bit of a tour and tell us about what Freedom Supercars is and where you guys are located.
Yeah, totally. So we're located here in Houston, Texas and Memorial, and we started the club because we really wanted to drive all these supercars. We looked at buying a few cars and just realized that there was a better way to do this, right? They always have maintenance problems. You always have to keep up with storage and things like that. And at the end of the day, when you buy one, 3 months later, you're just in the itch to go buy something different. And so it's always that continual desire for something new. And so we decided to start a club so members could drive everything. And so we have been in this building now 2 years. We wanted to build a facility that could not only be about the cars, but it could be about more than that, right? It's about the members getting to come up here and hang out together. It's them getting to experience things together and just basically be able to have an environment that was all connected around the supercars.
Yeah, well, this place is awesome. And you guys built this how long ago?
2 years.
2 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay. But it's also an event space, too, that you guys will have different events.
Completely,
and things
yeah.
like that during the
So
holidays.
our members can host corporate events up here, and so we host different things like you said, holiday events, corporate kickoffs, sales incentive meetings, and so it's been a really great multi-purpose for us as well.
Oh, and you got a pretty big TV screen here, so we could do some game day tailgates as well.
That's right. Yeah, definitely. We've got TVs and projectors throughout the entirety of the space, and so it's been a really cool thing. We've done F1 watch parties and some really fun game day experiences.
There's a lot of different membership clubs around the country that do things a little bit differently, but this seems like you guys have a unique setup. Walk me through how your membership works and really what's different about Freedom Supercars and the different groups that are out there.
So we're really the only membership club that does this for supercars, right? We started it because we saw people that did it for jets. We saw people that did it for boats, and no one really did this for automotive. And we thought, surely I would rather join a club like this. And so that's what we built out. And so we've been doing it for 15 years now. And so how it works is members join clubs similar to what you would do in a golf club, right? But instead of golf, we have supercars. And so currently we've got 16 supercars that members get the variety to switch between throughout the year. And so you would take something like the Bentley for a weekend, and then you take a Ferrari the next, choose a Lamborghini over the holidays, taking something like the Rolls Royce Cullinan out when the kids have their sporting events. You have a different car for every occasion, which is really fun. And so members typically choose between one of our packages. They get about 20 to 80 days a year, which is similar to what you would get if you owned the car and you had it at the home, but with all the variety and about half the cost of what ownership is.
Okay, nice. So basically, mom can go take that with her friend.
Exactly.
But then at soccer practice, you could take this bad boy out here.
That's right.
So that's a soccer mom special there.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Okay, so basically to be a member of the club, you guys have, is it an annual enrollment? Is it a monthly setup? How does that work?
So members have a one-time joining fee similar to a country club.
Okay.
And then they pay monthly dues throughout the year, and so they're one-year commitments, and we've had members that have stayed with us for 15 years now. So our members are essentially, right, people who have owned these in the past. They're people who are looking at them now. They're doctors, dentists, lawyers, business owners, right? And so what they all have in common is the supercars, right? They have that love for the cars. And that's the glue that holds the club together, right? Is their bond over, V8s and V10s and different, things. And they get together and get to share their experiences. And so the community around the supercars is what's really special with the club.
Yeah, and that's what I'm glad about this partnership is that, your members, you guys, you understand the bonds that come together, whether it's cars, football, whatever it is. It's just that sense of community and bringing people together that's more than just a club.
Completely.
Okay, yeah, so you mentioned you've had clients for about 15 years.
Yeah.
And interestingly, I think we met about 15, 16 years ago.
Yeah.
This wasn't here, obviously, at the time when you guys were starting, but yeah, so being in the car game for a long time, really what made you guys want to build this setup here at Freedom Supercars?
Yeah, totally. So during COVID, we had kind of had some time to back up and think about things. And really there was two mindsets, right? It was like, we're going to play it conservative, or we're going to really go out there and take a chance. And we thought the people who'd go out there and take chances are the ones that are going to really succeed down the road. And so for us, we were thinking, what do our members do, right? What other things can we fill kind of into their life and what they're already wanting? And so we wanted to create a place where they could come up here and not only take the cars, but be able to come up here and have a coffee, be able to come up here and be on their laptop and get some work done, have a meeting with some clients, or jump into our cigar lounge and have a non-conventional business meeting, right? And close a deal that, more than paid for their membership dues. Those things, just going beyond just the cars was really important to us.
Totally makes sense. And that cigar lounge is great. We're sometimes consider that my part-time office.
That's right.
Let's go check out the cigar lounge.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, tequila.
Okay, so you just mentioned a little bit a while ago about community, which is obviously a focal point for our business as well, and then the experiences that you have for your members here. So besides the on-location events and experiences you have here at the Britmore, what other experiences have you guys done with your clients around the country, around the world?
Yeah, totally. So, we've put on a number of events, some of the more notable ones, kind of like our overseas driving tours, right? They start all the way up in Germany, go through Italy, Switzerland, France, and then park in the Monaco harbor, charter a 150-foot yacht for the members to watch the F1 race there in Monaco. Kind of like these bucket list trips, right? And so these experiences are super important, which is why, this partnership made so much sense is, we not only want to do things that are, really obtainable for people, but these things that the money can't buy, right? You put these things together that, give them access that otherwise they may not have.
That's true, and it's amazing when you put a lot of really interesting people in interesting situations, a lot of magic could happen, business connections, new friendships, relationships.
Completely.
And that's what people want. I mean, obviously the cars are great. I mean, they're amazing, the whole setup, but it's just having that, being able to connect with others. I think that's what people want more, and that's what they're seeking out, these experiences, and we're going to be fortunate to be able to create new experiences for people in a new and meaningful way through private aviation.
Completely, yeah. You talked about that first trip that we did over to Monaco, right? This is 2017. I still am friends with those people to this day. Those people still are in WhatsApp group chats together that still send pictures every time that race happens because the experience was that fun, and it's just something that they'll never forget.
And those are the kind of photos that stay on your desk or behind your wall at the office.
That's right, completely. And they love telling those stories over and over again. And to be able to provide that for our customers, right, and be that individual that connected them to do that is really meaningful to us.
Fantastic.
We've got the Bentley Continental GT here. This is the perfect car for something if someone wants to go out and have a great, comfortable night, pure luxury. You've got amazing interior, chronos in the heads-up display. You've got massage seats, and all after that, it's still an amazing supercar to drive. V8 grumbles, really amazing car. So we've got the Audi R8 V10 Performance Edition. This is the last of the R8s that they ever built. This is actually built on the same chassis, same engine as the Lamborghini Huracan Evo that we have. And it's an amazing car, sounds phenomenal, built for the track. This car is essentially one of those last true naturally aspirated supercars, and so we wanted it to be a part of our collection. Last, we've got the Lamborghini Urus, everyone's favorite SUV. All the fun of a Lamborghini, all the convenience of an SUV. You still get engine pops, performance, 600 plus horsepower, you know, and who doesn't love stock OEM 23-inch wheels? All that and massage seats make up a pretty amazing experience for a member who wants to do everything over the weekend.
Okay, so now that we went through a lot of the different cars, what would you say is the most popular vehicle in the coupe category and then in the SUV category that your members like to take out?
Yeah, it's whatever's new, honestly, right? So right now, probably it's our McLaren Notre Spider, our Lamborghini Huracan Evo, Ferrari F8. You know, those three, you know, for the supercars really are the top tier vehicles that people love taking out. It's the Ferraris, the McLarens, the Lamborghinis, right?
Totally.
Porsche, you know, probably in there as well. And then in the SUVs, you know, these are always so popular. We actually have 2 Lamborghini Uruses because they're so popular right now. But I would also say the Rolls Royce Cullinan, right? It has so much presence. You have just things like a night vision camera on the front. Like, you know, it really is an experience. Like people, you know, don't go and get in that car because it's, I mean, it is crazy fast, but it's so much of an experience, right? You take out a business associate, right, to close a deal or entertain an existing client. You take out a wife and you know, on a double date with friends. You know, there is no words to experience, you know, like what the Rolls Royce Cullinan out on a night feels like. It's different than getting the adrenaline rush of a sports car. And I've had more people come back and rave about the experience they had with that car.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah. So now that we talked about what the favorite cars are for your members, what is your favorite car here in the club?
I'm gonna break it down into 2 different categories. If I'm going out with the wife, I'm gonna take probably something like the Bentley. A little something for me, a little something for her, right? Best of both worlds. If I'm going out just to drive, clear my head, have a good time, get the adrenaline pumping a little bit, I think probably our Porsche GT3 RS right now. Thing just screams red lines at 9,500 RPM. I mean, it is the most reasonable, ridiculous, you know, car, but if it brings a childhood grin to your face, the car is doing something right.
It's worth
there's
everything.
very few cars, you know, that can do that, you know, and that means it's working, right? So I think that's probably mine at the moment.
Okay, so that's your favorite car, and I believe the speed limit is 75 miles an hour. So out on these highways, how fast have you got in that car?
75 miles an hour.
75 miles an hour. HPD, earmuffs. So Chris, thanks again for walking us through this amazing facility. And really excited that we're having this partnership with you guys and that you've made the investment to provide all of your members here at Freedom Supercars a 1-year membership to game day private jets. Obviously there's a lot of similarities with community experiences, but what is it that really made you find the value in making this investment for your people, and how do you think that they're going to use this over the course of the year?
Yeah, totally. So it's what you said, right? It's how do we provide value to them, right? And so that's what we've been focusing over the next year is what else can we do for them besides the supercars here at the club. And so for our members, you know, we, you know, want to be able to put them together, and we liked your company because of the transparency, right? You can get on there, you can, you know, whether it's going to a game day or going on a vacation in Cabo with the family, you know, it was just a trusted source that we could put them together with, and that's what we're kind of about here. So we don't know whether this takes us to an F1 race in Miami or it takes us to the Atlanta Motor Speedway to do a Porsche experience, but we think there are a lot of great things to come ahead for the club and with game day private jets.
You're right, and that's exactly why we built this, is really, you know, college football, it's the launch pad. That's
Sure.
not all we do. And really it's about empowering the community, the members, to allow them to use a platform to come together and share private jets for whatever's of interest to them. So in the case here with Freedom, it is F1 races, going to those experiences with Porsche in Atlanta. Just there's so many different things to use, and what I think is as more members starting to use the platform, they're seeing just how affordable it is when you get groups of people together and go through our service that allows you to really fly more for less, and again, just create those great experiences And I'm glad that you guys made that investment and that you guys see what we're putting together. So thank you very much.
Yeah, totally. We already see, members take cars out together, go to dinner with each other, create business partnerships. This is just one more thing that they can use your service as a vehicle, right? To be able to go beyond that. And whether it's going on trips together or maybe going and doing business deals together and getting there in style, like that's what it's all about, is being able to put pieces together for the members and create a whole lot of value.
Okay, Chris, so you guys have been here now for about 2 years running the business. Obviously, you guys are doing well. Memberships are growing. You have a very active community of members that spend a lot of time with each other, take the cars out, actually use the membership, which is fantastic. So what's next for Freedom Supercars?
Yeah, totally. So we kind of just continue to try to see where we can fill in our members' lives. So when we came into this building, we decided to do corporate events for the members. And then we're going even further and we're creating an auto spa, right? So paint protection film, window tint, ceramic coatings, anything to make your daily car or your weekend car brand new, protected for life, and so we're expanding into Freedom Auto Spa. And then we're also going to do a little bit of build out next door in our building. And so we want to be able to transport this concept into about 30 cities around the US and have reciprocal rights for our members to be able to use cars in any of those locations. And so think about, having a freedom passport, if you will, right? Traveling to different cities, meeting other people in those markets, being able to attend events, driving tours, taking cars anywhere in the US and major cities. That's the overall goal for us.
Man, that's fantastic. It's ambitious, but if I know you and your dad, you guys are going to pull it off, man.
That's right.
Chris, thanks again for the tour.
Of course.
Much success. And
thanks for coming out.
You got it. All right, guys, so that completes our tour of Freedom Supercars here in Houston, Texas. Stick around, because even though Chris might be good at picking out cars, we're about to find out how good he is at picking out college football games.
That's right.
Stay tuned.
Football is back, hear the roar. Every week is what we live for. Fans unite, cheer for more. Football is back, let's adore.
Hi guys, welcome to week 3's pick'em for college football picks here. We have our guest, Chris Smith, partner at Freedom Supercars, who was kind enough to give us a tour of his clubhouse earlier this week, or as I refer to it as the candy store, as there's a lot of goodies in that place. But Chris, welcome back. Great to have you here.
Thanks. Glad to join you.
All right. Well, awesome, man. So, I was thinking about this. One, we learned about the club, which is amazing. Great facility. Love the future plans you guys have for it. And, but I forgot to ask a really important question, and that is, what was your first car?
Yeah. First car was a Ford Mustang. And so really got to enjoy that. And just like, any teenager, really wanted to jump into it and make it my own. You did everything from putting a front nose on it to rear diffuser, exhaust, speakers, subwoofers, even put some fake engine mounts on it to make it look like an old Shelby GT500. Try to make it my own. So that was a fun project car. Ended up in a few of my class projects for some video work and stuff. So it was a good time.
Man, that's awesome. So, okay, so you pretty much were introduced to some muscle cars and performance at an early age. I think my first car was a complete opposite. It was a 1982 Ford Escort station wagon LX with imitation pleather seats and no air conditioning. So I had to do a lot of Ace Ventura driving in the summer with the head out the window. Right. but you know what though, it's a special car, just like you. I mean, I love that car. I'm sure you loved your car, and it's our first little taste of freedom as a young man.
Yeah, it got me all the way through my middle of college, and I packed up in an entire apartment, and that probably loaded it to the gills and drove out. So it was a fun car. I hated to get rid of it when I did, but yeah, it was a good time.
Well, if you need a retro car, you can throw that into the collection there. I'm sure the members would love driving that around after getting in the other vehicles you have there. So
that's right.
Well, awesome. Well, cool. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started and start looking at our picks for week number 3. So obviously, Chris, you're a man that knows speed, power, high performance. So let's get into these matchups and see if you can pick these games out just as well as you can pick out your cars. So
okay, sure thing.
The first one we're going to do is we're going to start off real easy. Colorado versus Houston. So
Ooh.
First up here, we got a high-octane Friday night showdown between the Colorado Buffaloes and the Houston Cougars. Coach Deion Sanders has his team rolling, bringing that primetime energy to the Big 12. Meanwhile, Willie Fritz and the Cougars are looking to defend their home turf. Who do you have winning this game?
Ooh, this one's kind of an easy one for me. Deion's had a lot of, distractions in the offseason, obviously, and had some, interesting picks on starting his third string quarterback is his number one this week. I think U of H had a great, offseason of recruiting, and I think that they're pumping a lot of money into that program. I'm going to take the Cougars for the win this week.
All right. Locking in for the Cougars. And, I will have to say that I also agree the Houston Cougars are going to win. To your point, they're making a lot of big investments in the program. I mean, we saw what they've done with basketball. There's a new sense of a newfound energy in town. There's a lot of new engagement with alumni. They're really bringing things together, what they're doing with the AD and the whole team over there. The Cougars defense is a brick wall. So
yeah, they look great against Rice.
Also have the Cougs, and in fact, I'm so confident that tonight, on Friday when they win, we'll be opening this bottle up here to celebrate the Houston Cougars win. So
I like that.
So go Cougs. All right, so now we have game number 2, which is going to be Texas State versus Arizona State. So for this one, we're heading out to the desert for a clash between the 2-0 Texas Bobcats and Arizona State Sun Devils. Both of these teams are looking to make a statement. The Sun Devils are hoping to show that their program is on the rise, while Texas State is hungry to prove that they can compete with anyone. So will the Bobcats' up-tempo offense be too much for the Sun Devils, or will the heat of Tempe give Arizona State the home field advantage? So Chris, for Texas State versus Arizona State, who you got?
Arizona State just had a horrific loss there at the end of the game to Mississippi State. And so they've got the home field advantage. They're going to be hungry for blood for a win this week. Playing at home, you'd think that they have the advantage, but Texas State looks awesome. They're 2-0. Arizona State continues to prove that their quarterback continues to fall short in these big games. And I think it's early on. I think the Bobcats got a real chance of winning. So I'm going to go with the Texas State Bobcats on this one as well.
Good choice. See, we're both following the hometown Texas heroes here.
That's right.
I agree as well. I mean, I'm taking the Bobcats on this one. I think people keep calling them a rising star out there in the Texas Hill Country, but I think, starting 2-0, they're also doing a lot of great things there with building out their sports complex. And I think it's kind of cool. A lot of people may not know this, but for all the Texas State home games, the president rides out on a motorcycle with his wife, and I think that's pretty cool too. But these guys
that's
are
awesome.
I think they're coming to Tempe to prove something. So, like you, I agree. I'm going to take Texas State Bobcats for this one. So, All right. So now we're going to go to game number 3, which is Texas A&M versus Notre Dame. This is a rematch of the classic season opener, with Texas A&M heading to South Bend to take on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Last year, Notre Dame got the better of the Aggies, but with a whole new season and the pressure on, Mike Elko is looking for some revenge. The atmosphere in South Bend is going to be electric, and the game could be a huge statement for either team. So, will the Aggies be able to silence the crowd and pull out the upset, or will the Fighting Irish show why they're a national contender and give touchdown Jesus something to smile about? So, Chris, Texas A&M versus Notre Dame, who you got?
Yeah, all the past games leading up to this, A&M has started really slow. They struggled with UTSA early on in the first half of that game. Thought the UTSA was going to pull that one out. On the opposite side, Notre Dame barely lost to Miami. What a great game. I think Notre Dame got them last year. I think they're going to get them again. I'm going to take Notre Dame on this one.
All right, Notre Dame. And once again, I don't know if you saw my cheat sheet or something here, but I'm also going to go with the boys in South Bend and Notre Dame. May not be a popular pick. My neighbors are Aggies, so I'm sure they're going to give me some grief about that. But yeah, I mean, it's they got a disciplined style of play, and I do think that touchdown Jesus is going to be smiling all night long in South Bend. So I agree.
That's right.
Notre Dame. All right, so next we have a special game here. We have number 4, which is Oregon State, and your alma mater, Texas Tech.
That's right.
Before we even get into this pick here, you played football at Tech. I don't think a lot of people know that. So if you got a minute, let's talk a little bit about your experience there, playing ball, some of the guys you played with, and what life was like out there at Texas Tech before the millions and millions and millions of NIL dollars that are flowing in there now.
Yeah, well, I originally started out at Baylor, and right out of high school, went there with Coach Briles when RG3 was there. I got to play with him for a little bit, did a little bit of rehab when he hurt his knee, and he just, told me that, it wasn't looking great. He was going to come back, but it kind of changed him a little bit. And I kind of was looking for a program to get situated with. And so Coach Briles actually released me back in the day before the transfer portal to go play somewhere, not just anywhere, in conference. And so that led me to look at 2 places that I wanted to play, was Oklahoma State or Texas Tech, and ended up packing that Mustang up and driving to Lubbock. And so played there for a few years, and came there right after Coach Leach left. Played with Coach Tuberville for a few years, and then right as I was leaving, Patrick Mahomes came in, had the kind of glory days right after my eligibility was up. But really enjoyed Lubbock. I really enjoyed Texas Tech. It was a great college town to be a part of. And what I truly liked about playing football there was getting to play for a university that was truly all in on the program. At Baylor, we would go to games and they'd be half filled. One of the things I liked about Texas Tech is, man, those people are rowdy. It's true, the tortillas flying, the mass rider, going across the field at the start of the game. I mean, the stadium's just electric, and that's what I wanted to play for. Is I wanted to go to a big program that cared so much about something. You donate 50 hours a week to something. Back in the day, you didn't get paid for that, right? And so being able to do that and be appreciated for that was what meant a lot to me. And so it was a great time there.
Man, that's tremendous. Yeah, that's awesome. And now we're going to be putting you on the hot seat to see who you're going to pick versus the Oregon State, Texas Tech. But look, this is a Wild West showdown out there. The Beavers are traveling to Lubbock and see how they can do against your Texas Tech Raiders. So they're led by quarterback Baron Morton. They have an offense that can light up the scoreboard, but maybe don't sleep on the Beavers, who are known for a physical running game and a tough defense. This game's all about styles clashing, the speed and air raid of Texas against the ground and pound of Oregon State. So I think I know the answer to this question, but Chris, for this type of game, who you got?
Yeah, this is probably the easiest pick of the week, Lewis. I Oregon State struggled and lost to Fresno State. They then went and lost pretty heavily to California. Very opposite, is happening in Lubbock. Played Kent State, won by a margin of 50. Arkansas Pine Bluff, for those poor guys, just lost by 60. The Red Raiders have put up over 130 points in 2 games, averaging 7+ touchdowns a game, half of that being in the rain. This is an easy one. Tech's got some of the best recruiting classes, more money dumped into the program than anyone else, and Texas Tech's coming away with a huge win this week.
All right, well, it seems like that was a very hard choice for you.
Yep.
On that one as well, I'm also going to choose the Red Raiders. They're averaging like 65 points a game. And also, just like you talked about the community, what they're doing there, the fans, the stadium. There's a lot going on at Texas Tech. Obviously, we saw what's doing the NIL program, the funding that's coming in, the players are attracting, the alumni that are more rabid than ever. A lot of excitement, big expectations for Texas Tech. But to your point, I think they're going to pull this one off. And I'm also going to make a claim that Morton's going to throw for 5 touchdowns and 400 yards.
I like that.
I'm going to sprinkle that in there as well.
Yeah, they've got, everything going for them. They had a huge stage to walk into this year, but they're really coming out, proving everyone right that, it was a solid investment. They've got, the donors, they've got the university. They even have Mahomes and a huge Adidas partnership coming to show up for them this year. Lewis, when I was there, we had red carpet and wood lockers. The guys have everything at their disposal. The only thing that can stop them at this point is themselves. So, hopefully we've got a great year ahead.
All right, love it. So to be clear, Chris is picking Texas Tech.
That's right.
So I see here that there's a interesting stat that combined you and Patrick Mahomes threw for 93 touchdown passes while he was at Texas Tech. So congratulations for that.
It's crazy to know that we had both Baker Mayfield and Mahomes on that same team at the same time. Davis Webb as well, who ended up transferring to Cal and playing there, and then getting drafted to the Giants. So 3 guys, 3 NFL teams. It's a pretty crazy quarterback class.
All right, so now we're going to game number 5, which is USC versus Purdue. So here's one of the most intriguing non-conference games of the week. The USC Trojans are heading to Indiana to face the Purdue Boilermakers. Lincoln Riley's Trojans are looking to flex their Big Ten muscles for the first time on the road against a conference opponent, and Purdue is more than ready to play spoiler. The Boilermakers defense will have its hands full trying to contain UFC's explosive playmakers. So, will the Trojans live up to the hype, or will Fraternity Row at Purdue be celebrating victory by drinking Boilermakers after the game? Chris, what's your pick?
This is one that I don't know too much about either of these teams. I watched a little bit of both games last week, and both teams are, obviously playing early, kind of cupcake teams, and Purdue, beat both of their teams by a couple of touchdowns. Nothing crazy there. USC kind of followed Texas Tech in this. They just, beat up on these teams and looked explosive. So if I was going to pick, I think the Trojans have this one. I'm going to go USC.
All right, lock it in for USC. Yeah, on this one, I think I was going into it thinking USC at first, but I also want to make sure we don't pick the same exact teams for every game.
Okay.
Because somebody has to have bragging rights over the other. So
that's right.
For this one, I'm always a fan of the underdog, and I think Purdue's got something to prove on this one. Also, big Drew Brees fan, and so for me, I think I'm going to have to pick Purdue to win this one. And either way, win or lose, I think there's going to be a lot of Boilermakers getting thrown down before, during, and after that game.
That's right.
All right, now we have a bonus game. So we have game number 6, which is going to be the big one, Georgia versus Tennessee in Knoxville. So the Georgia Bulldogs are traveling to Knoxville for a highly anticipated SEC rivalry game against the Tennessee Volunteers. Neyland Stadium is going to be rocking, and the Vols are desperate to end an 8-game losing streak against the Bulldogs. Georgia has been the class of the SEC, but Tennessee's high-powered offense and home field advantage could be a perfect storm for the upset. So, Chris, Georgia versus Tennessee at Tennessee. Who do you have for this one?
This one's tough. Both teams lost their quarterback last year. One goes for a little bit of money. The other leaves for a Cavender twin. Regardless, both have to start over with a new QB1. I would typically say Georgia's got the stronger program on this one, but Tennessee at home is hard to beat. I think they might have another set of goalposts in the river, so I'm going to go Tennessee on this one.
All right. Tennessee, I like it. Yeah, this was a tough one too. One, I think Joey Aguilar of Tennessee, that he was a stud, and I like his journey from Appalachian State to USC to Tennessee. That's been remarkable. I think I'm still going to just have to go with the Georgia Bulldogs.
Hard to beat.
They're hard to beat. It's their national championship machine, well coached, a lot of talent. I think it's going to be a close one, but it's definitely going to be one to watch. So for this one, I'm going to have to go with Georgia.
Lewis, thanks for having me on. It's always fun talking football. I don't know what it is. We're in September now, which is crazy, but it's the first, cool breeze I've felt in what seems like 12 months. Football's on, just gives me a big smile, and it's one of my favorite times of year. And getting to watch football is always fun, but getting the experience, be able to jump on a private jet, go, with our members or other people at Texas Tech, and be able to, jump on a plane and be able to get a first-class experience to one of these games is just such a cool experience. And we're excited for kind of what this partnership has for us and the club, and we're super excited for that.
Awesome. Well, again, definitely appreciate you coming on here and And you're right. I mean, it's here in Texas. When you walk out in the summer, it's kind of like Super Mario Brothers. The sun's trying to kill you.
That's
But
right.
right now, it's not. I mean, everything feels good. It's like they say, it's fall, y'all. You see all the pumpkin spice stuff in the stores, which pumpkin spice might be a whole other episode because I know people have strong feelings about pumpkin spice. But
That's right.
but no, it's great. Yeah, definitely excited. I appreciate that you see the vision of what we're building here, of community, of camaraderie, and just really creating some unique experiences for people. Because, as you know, going to these games, it's kind of tough on a Friday through a Sunday experience. You can't pull the kids out of school, can't take off work sometimes. Hotels are thousands of dollars a night. It just becomes a hassle. And really, you know, our clients, our members, they want to get in, they want to get out, they want to tailgate, relive the glory days, and just get back home by their bed at night. And that's what we're trying to build here. So really excited to see how this is going to work out for your members. No doubt you guys are going to leverage it well for both sports and also racing events and things like that. But so we're gonna lock these picks in. We're gonna see how you do, and loser buys the other a bottle of you know what. So
Yeah, deal.
we got it. No drinking and driving.
That's
So,
right.
awesome, Chris. Thanks, man. You have a good one.
Thanks, you too.